Hello, and welcome to Construction Programs and Results newsletter. I'm Michael Stone, and I'll be sharing this newsletter with you. We returned this last weekend from our trip to Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, and what a great week it was. Lots of things to see and do, good food, and best of all, great folks that traveled with us. Our friendships will last a lifetime. Remember that on May 13th, Mark Ashton will join us for a video presentation on how he uses Zoom to sell his design and planning services for remodeling. Mark has a very high sales to leads ratio and has a great sales system in place that he is going to show you. Please plan on joining us and to see how you can sell your services from your office. Sign up for the class will be in the link below. Now, our newsletter. Handling customer complaints. No matter how careful you are, there will come a day when your crew or one of your subcontractors will say or do something that upsets a client. When it happens, you'll get an angry call, text, or email that can't and shouldn't be ignored. You know it's serious when they're breathing fire. A sub borrowed and broke their tools. An employee parked a truck on a prized rose bush. Someone damaged their existing hardwood floors or gouged a wall, and no one will take responsibility. How should you respond? Tell all clients before you sign the contract that complaints will be handled in person. I'd suggest including this language in your contract so there isn't any question about your company policy on how you deal with problems. When your client lets you know there's a problem, it's important that you handle it immediately. It goes to the top of your to-do list. Everything else stops, and the complaint gets addressed. If they contact you by phone, you'll hear a lot of emotion. Stay calm, let them vent. Then respond, John, Mary, I understand that you're upset. When will you be home today or at the job site so we can get together to review this one-on-one and get it resolved? If they contact you by email or text, either send back a note with that same response or call to arrange a meeting face to face. Don't go any further than that in writing. When they give you a time, be sure you're at the appointment on time. Don't aggravate the situation by being late or worse, not showing up at all. When you arrive, get all parties to the discussion seated. And a good way to do this is to ask, John, Mary, is there some player we can set while we discuss this? After you're seated, ask them to tell you again exactly what's wrong. Then listen. Don't allow yourself to get drawn into a debate or discussion. Listen. No excuses, no complaints, no explaining, and no arguing. Listen. If you must go back to your office and get more information about why the problem happened, then do so. Before you leave, be sure and set a time for a callback. No more than 24 hours later. Go back to your office, find out all the information you need, and then get back to your client. If the situation involves a promise or a statement someone else made, i.e., well, Joe said that, take Joe with you on the callback. Look for a solution. When they're done venting and you know enough to move forward, apologize, even if you didn't cause the problem. Shoulder the responsibility. Then ask how you can make the problem right. John, Mary, what would you like me to do to fix this problem? How can I make it right? Then listen to their answer. If their solution is reasonable, agree to fix it on the spot. Then either fix it or arrange to have your employees or subs fix the problem immediately. If it isn't reasonable, negotiate. Often when your client sees that you're sincere about getting the problem resolved, they will begin to see it as more of an aggravation than a genuine complaint, and it can be solved with just a little effort on your part. If the completion date of this project is impacted, revise the time schedule and write a change work order signed by the client that extends the job completion date. Now go one step further. Buy the owner and their family a gift certificate for a dinner out. Make it roughly 1/2 the hourly rate your attorney would have charged to hear your story about why you're being sued or why your client is refusing to pay you. From this point on, check the job 2 or 3 times each week to make sure the problem is fixed and doesn't come up again. Don't neglect the punch list on the job, and that's even more important now. Be sure the owner signs the punch list and each item as it's completed. This reduces the risk they'll hold the final payment hostage in return for freebies at the end of the job. When the job is done and you have your final check, ask for 2 referrals or give them a chance to buy more work from you. That'll show that you're not upset with them for them getting upset with you. Last but not least, be sure to review the situation with everyone in your company as well as the subs or suppliers that were involved so the problem doesn't happen again. If it does happen again, give the perpetrators a transfer to your competition. Remind everyone in your company as well as your subs and suppliers that customers aren't a nuisance and they aren't a problem. They're the reason you're in business. They need to be treated accordingly. Stuff happens. What you do when it happens says a lot about your business and your character. Don't run from your customer complaints. Tackle them head on and get it fixed. Go, my young friends. Handle your complaints like the pros do, and you will keep your legal expenses to a minimum. And may the profits be with you.